Hi, and welcome to another week of the Book Cellar. I'm your bookish host, Jessica Gillen, with all the latest in the book world, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment. It's been 2 very long weeks since I had an episode, and I have to say that I missed making my show and sharing my book news and reviews with you, and I am so sorry I left you all for so long. I had a very serious ear infection, which I've never had one. If I had one when I was a kid, I honestly don't remember it. And my ear infection was coupled with a cold that left me without hearing in my left ear. I feel much better today. I'm about 90%, so my ear feels good. It's still a little clogged, but it's not nearly as bad as it was even a couple days ago. So I just want to thank everyone, especially my Eventide family, for being so sweet and supportive of me, for taking off 2 weeks to get better. They really are super awesome here, and I can't say enough good things about them. So because I was gone for 2 weeks, I'm having a 2-episode special as I have a lot of news and reviews to catch up on. This episode is purely going to be on my review of my book to movie adaptation of Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I was actually able to see the movie the weekend it opened right before I got sick. Imagine that. I wonder if I got sick at something in the movie theater. I mean, they talk about having lice in the seats, and that just kind of creeps me out, but I don't really think about it when I'm in the movie. I don't know. I don't think I got sick from there. My cat did it. Anyway, but if you're looking for a more inclusive review of the movie, please head over to the drive-in, as Aaron gave a more in-depth review of the movie. My review of the movie will be purely from an adaptation point of view, as someone who read the book before seeing the movie, which is a little different than a standard movie review. Usually we pick out things that, someone that just goes in for entertainment purposes might not see or catch up on. So, Murder on the Orient Express is by author Agatha Christie, who is a very well-known and successful author of books in the murder mystery genre. She was a big piece in a literary movement of the golden age of detective fiction, which was an era of classic murder mystery whodunit novels, popular in the 1920s, basically up till World War II. Agatha Christie is mostly well known for her novels surrounding fictional detectives such as Hercule Poirot, I don't really know how to say his name, as well as her classic whodunit plotlines. Agatha Christie is listed in the Guinness World Records as the best-selling novelist of all time, with her novels selling more than 2 billion copies. A book most of the readers in this genre will be familiar with would be And Then There Were None, which is one of Christie's best-selling books. But almost all of her books and short stories have been adapted into film, television, and radio, making her a legendary figure in the literary world. Poirot, who is the main character and detective in Murder on the Orient Express, was a featured character in more than 33 novels and 54 short stories. I personally have never read any of her novels with Poirot as the main character, but I've had experience with other Agatha Christie novels. That being said, to me, murder mystery novels are books that I tend to get through the fastest, as they're usually the most engaging with me, as I tend to try to solve the ending before it happens. If you're familiar with Agatha Christie's work, you know that it is nearly impossible to solve her murder mysteries. I've read about 5 or 6 of her books now, and I've had 0 success in knowing the outcome, and have a lot of gasp moments when the finale finally reveals itself. Murder on the Orient Express was one of those novels, and the ending, holy crap, was something I never saw coming. So Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie was published on January 1st, 1934 in the UK, with a publication in the US coming about a month later. This book is under 250 pages, so for an avid reader, it can be done in one sitting, like myself, as it only took me about a little under 3 solid hours to read. My boyfriend actually at one point was like, "Are you actually understanding anything you're reading?" And I couldn't help but scoff. Yeah, come on. Who are you talking to here? All right, so let's take a quick break and hear the latest from Eventide Entertainment before I dive right into the review of Murder on the Orient Express. Stay tuned.
Wednesdays on Eventide, Robert Yetter and Mike Shea sit down and throw albums at each other, talking about them, picking them apart, ripping them a new one. All different artists, all different genres, all different levels of suckage. It's Track Record, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on the Eventide podcast feed. For more information, go to eventideent.com. Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment. Hey there, podcast fans. Eventide Entertainment is proud to announce that we are now the new home for The Life with Don Smith. This show is recorded live every Wednesday on WWSU 106.9 FM. We bring you the full, unabridged, 2-hour special every Friday on Spreaker, YouTube, and of course, iTunes. Comedian Don Smith talks to comics and other local figures about movies, music, comedy, and life in general. Here's a clip from last week's show.
With the new semester starting, which, by the way, welcome back, everybody.
Oh, yeah. It is that time of year.
It is. This is welcome week. It's the first week of the new semester. Everybody is not yet ready to walk out. There are still people deciding whether or not they want to drop all their classes and disappoint their parents. And for me, it's too late. They were disappointed a long time ago.
This is the point where you decide whether or not you want to have a career with your name on your shirt.
Right. Which when I worked here, I had my name on my shirt.
I mean,
then I went back to where I used to work. Now I have an actual a badge.
Yeah, see,
with my name on.
I went from having a name tag to a name badge.
Yeah, that's moving up.
There is.
That's upward mobility.
When it goes from being plastic to laminated, that's when you know you've made it.
Well, yeah, that badge is important. It gets you in and out. You got to have it.
Get that little key fob with the microchip in it that scans you into the door. That's how you know you're on your way.
You've made it at that point. And I still got the janitor's keys jangling from my belt still, which so that's great too. That's another indicator of a success story.
Oh yeah, you've got access to things.
Oh yeah, I'm somebody now.
Make sure you check out The Life with Don Smith every Wednesday at noon on 106.9 FM and every Friday here on the Eventide Entertainment podcast feed. For more information, go to www.eventideent.com. And now, here's this.
Hey, and welcome back. So I'm going to give you a very quick synopsis of Murder on the Orient Express. And I just want to point out it's extremely hard to write a synopsis for murder mysteries because you don't want to give away any details, because in these books, every detail matters. So I'm just going to try my best. Might be a couple sentences, but here we go. Just after midnight, a snowdrift stopped the Orient Express in its tracks. The luxurious train was surprisingly full for the time of the year. But by the morning, there was one passenger fewer. A passenger lay dead in his compartment, stabbed 12 times, his door locked from the inside. So that's all I'm going to give you. It's a murder mystery, whodunit, who killed the guy. The detective kind of goes through all the different suspects, questions them, and you pick up little details as you go. Keep in mind, this book is 250 pages long, so there's a lot of information crammed into it, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. It's laid out quite nicely. So for me, I read this book about 2 days before I went to see the movie, as I wanted to be fresh and have a clear depiction of the book in my mind before seeing it on the big screen. Something interesting I did is I left the last 30 pages or so to be read after I saw the movie, because I wanted to leave the ending to be brought to me through film, just because I didn't want to go see the movie and absolutely 100% know everything. I kind of wanted to see how it would unfold on film and kind of be given the big reveal that way. I will say it was very hard to stop myself from reading the ending, as I was so engaged and drawn into this novel. But alas, I felt like it was the right decision. The book at that point was exciting and extremely thought-provoking, and this was highlighted in the movie as well. It reminded me a lot of the movie Inception, which actually had a lot of mixed reviews. And I think the reason for that is because there's a lot of twists and turns that leave people guessing and having to think too much about what's going on while you're trying to pay attention to a movie. I get that. But for me, I truly enjoy being engaged in literature and film to the point where my mind is racing trying to figure out all the puzzle pieces. Yes, sometimes that does take away from the movie because you're trying to pay attention to something that could be a complete white herring. But at the same time, you can always watch it again. And Inception was one of those movies I watched over and over again. And honestly, I would read Murder on the Orient Express again for that reason. I want to see on those little tiny tidbits of info to see if I could be like, oh, interesting literary device there. I didn't pick up on it the first time I read it. So, Murder on the Orient Express had a lot of moments of, oh, I know who it is. Wait, no, I don't. Maybe it's this. No, I'm wrong. I love to keep guessing. And honestly, I do enjoy being wrong. Believe it or not. Personally, I enjoyed the movie. But at the same time, it was a bit difficult to not see the differences between book and movie as clear as day. For instance, some characters were completely different, and some of the revealing moments that were so good in the book were a bit muddled and confusing in the movie. During parts where you thought, aha, in the book, left me confused in the movie. However, upon reading the ending, after seeing the movie version of the ending, I thought the movie actually did the reveal a lot better than the book, which kind of surprised me. I was thinking, after seeing the movie, I was kind of like, wow, that was kind of confusing how that kind of came to be, but then I read the book, I was like, and this is confusing, I don't know what to think. So, I thought that was actually the best part, other than the cast on screen, was that ending reveal. I wish the movie had more character development, but, I mean, that's something that we all wish for when we see book to movie adaptations. There's always missing pieces in character development. It's just hard to bring that kind of stuff to screen, because in a book, you're getting to hear the person's thoughts. You can't hear a person's thoughts on film, unless they, do that weird House of Cards thing that Kevin Spacey does. So, the character development in the movement made me feel a bit disconnected from the movie. We know that books are not often done justice when adapted into film, but personally, this is one of the better adaptations I've seen in a long while. Overall, I thought the book was fantastic. I was left guessing until the very end and did not see that ending coming at all. I enjoyed the characters and how fast and enjoyable of a read this was. Murder mysteries are those kinds of books that you can enjoy reading in one sitting during a rainy day with either a cup of tea or coffee. If you want an introduction to Christie, this is a great book to start at. I give it a 3 out of 5, given the ending could have had a bigger punch. Also, I did want more. I'm okay with a longer story. But I like Agatha Christie, and I'm never really disappointed with her reads, and don't think a 3 out of 5 is bad. What? I think that was pretty good, personally. We'll say 3.5 out of 5. I just don't want to get a 4 out of 5 because I feel like I give every book a 4 out of 5. And there was little pieces missing, so we'll say 3.5. 3.5 out of 5, so a 7 out of 10. That seems better than a 6 out of 10. I don't want to give this book a 6 out of 10. So the movie was very well done, visually appealing. The actor who plays the main detective was perfect, and I loved seeing him on my screen. It was a very close portrayal of the character in the book. I felt that he had the most character development in the movie, which is a huge plus since he is the main character. I thought some of the changes in the characters was kind of confusing. I had no idea why they changed certain aspects. Took a bit away from the movie for me at times. I was also disappointed by how they glossed over certain big moments and reveals during the movie, leaving me confused. I can't imagine how someone who didn't read the book might have felt watching that movie, and a bit of a letdown. However, that ending, again, was way better in the movie than how it was revealed in the book. Maybe this is because I read the ending chapters after seeing the movie, but I felt like it was way more dramatic how they revealed by showing certain clues and their importance in the end. So kind of re-highlighting things. Overall, I give this movie about the same rating as the book, maybe a little bit higher because that punch at the end. It was enjoyable for me to watch. I would probably watch it again. Definitely one of the better murder mystery adaptations that I've ever seen on screen. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts as well as some recommendations of other murder mysteries. I forgot how much I enjoy this genre. It's been a while since I've read some. So please check out my Goodreads and add me as a friend on there. The link is in the description box below. Thank you for listening and staying tuned for the next episode where I talk about my review of my adult fantasy, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, as well as the latest news and releases for December. See you guys soon. Bye.